Right now, I want you to try to picture yourself in this position. You're on the operating table, undergoing surgery, and you wake up. You feel all the pain, but you can't move, you can't talk, you can't even scream. It's absolutely terrifying, and it happens to thousands of people like the woman you're about to meet. Here's Keith Oppenheim.
What's your surgery for?
My surgery's for my left knee. I have a cartilage tear in my left knee.
Like thousands of people do each day, Jane Hubbard is undergoing surgery.
When it comes to general anesthesia, what are your expectations?
To be kept comfortable, to sleep during the procedure and wake up at the end and not feel it.
You're right.
Kelly Haapala had the same expectations in 1999 when she went into surgery after shattering her hip socket in a car accident.
That's quite a hit you took.
I'm lucky, and that's what I keep reminding myself. I'm lucky that it could have been much worse.
As frightening as the car accident was, Kelly says her greatest trauma came during surgery.
I remember I left my room and I was wheeled down the hall. When I got to the operating room, they introduced me to my anesthesiologist. He told me briefly, well, we're going to put you under and everything will be okay. And then they have you count down from 10 and you're out.
But unlike most patients, Kelly did not remain unconscious. Sometime after the surgery began, Kelly became aware. She could hear voices.
I just kept thinking, maybe I'm dreaming, that this is happening to me. And as I was slowly realizing that I was in the operating room, that's when I started feeling the tugging, pushing, pressure. And then after that, I started feeling the pain.
While the drugs that were keeping her unconscious were wearing off, other drugs still kept her paralyzed.
I don't know how to explain it other than like a hot poker just jabbing into you to scrape all of my fragments out of there, and then like a big vacuum noise of the suctioning.
She could feel and hear everything that was happening to her, but had no way of communicating that she was awake.
I was screaming inside, stop, I'm awake. This can't happen, stop, and nobody's hearing me.
Eventually, Kelly could move. She began flailing her arms and legs.
I was in such terror. I needed to let them know so badly that they needed to stop what they were doing. They just dove on me and started screaming at each other that I was awake and put her back under, put her back under.
Did you hear that?
Yes, yeah. They were frightened as well.
The medical term for what happened to Kelly Haapala is called anesthesia awareness. It's estimated it only happens to somewhere between 0.1 to 0.2% of patients who receive general anesthesia. But put that into the number of actual cases, and that means somewhere between 20 to 40,000 people in the U.S. become aware during surgery every year.
I have a little antibiotic.
Dr. Carl Rosso is an anesthesiologist in Massachusetts General Hospital.
The problem happens when a person doesn't get enough drug for one reason or the other. Either they're insensitive to drug, and so the normal dose doesn't put them completely to sleep, or because something interrupts the flow of drug.
Last fall, the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations issued an alert to hospitals across the country, saying anesthesia awareness is under-recognized and under-treated.
I think it's a very natural tendency for clinicians to try to explain it away. It's an embarrassing thing to happen. You feel like perhaps the care has failed the patient somehow, and it's nicer to think that it really didn't happen.
Dr. Janet Osterman of Boston University Medical Center has studied patients who have experienced anesthesia awareness. Her findings show over 50% of patients who go through it suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder.
People had nightmares. They had intrusive thoughts of their surgery or parts of their surgery would come to them while they were trying to do even simple things like brushing your teeth or driving in your car.
Kelly Haapala's surgeon told her not to dwell on what happened.
I should have been able to talk to someone about what had happened to me. I should have gotten an apology, an explanation. Anything would have been helpful.
Even more upsetting to Kelly, she is now facing additional surgery on her hip.
I'm very scared that the anesthesia part of it something could go wrong again.
So what do you want?
Well, they have brain activity monitors out. The BIS monitors are one form of them.
So take a look. What we're going to do right now
This is getting ready for
is putting the BIS monitor on. That was just a little.
BIS, or bispectral index monitoring, is a brainwave technology that measures how conscious a person is during surgery.
And then it's going to feel a little prickly.
Dr. Rosso routinely uses it. He's a consultant to Aspect, the company that manufactures the monitor. The BIS monitor displays a number. Anything above 60 means the patient is more likely conscious.
The BIS monitor is tracking something that I couldn't measure in any other way.
She is fully anesthetized right now.
Sure. Fully anesthetized. She very rapidly went from a state of being conscious with numbers in the 80s down to a very low number. And you notice.
But there's a split among anesthesiologists. And because the technology is relatively new, a task force of the American Society of Anesthesiologists recently did a one-year study of the monitors. Their conclusion: BIS monitors are still unproven. But Kelly Haapala wants to be sure her next anesthesiologist is using it. As unsettled as the data may be on BIS monitors, she wants to feel more confident that during her upcoming surgery, she will wake up at only one time, when it's over.
There can always be human error, and that can happen in anything that you do. With today's technology, I don't see why we shouldn't have a monitor in every surgery.
We can probably remove this now.
It's not a guarantee, but it's the closest we can get right now to a guarantee.
And that was Keith Oppenheim. Just this week, the American Society of Anesthesiologists adopted some new standards designed to keep people from waking up during surgery, but the group decided against recommending using brain activity